Good morning, dear students. My name is Ferhan Mazher, and the subject today we are studying is Cambridge O-Levels Physics 5054. In this video, we are going to work on the revision, and we are basically working on the book written by the Heather, Kennett, and the Tom Duncan, and that is a book for the syllabus of the Cambridge O-Levels Physics. And at the end of that book, we have a list of equations which will be used in the exams and all the syllabus content. So in this video, we are going to talk about that list of equations which is given in that book. So very simple, straightforward. So you have to kind of remember those equations. Okay, so let's start, and here we go. So here we have this equations. This is a list of equations, and first one is the speed. The speed is equals to distance divided by time, and we say v is equals to s by t. Average speed means the total distance traveled and divided by the total time taken. The acceleration is change in velocity divided by the time taken. It is represented with A, and that is equals to delta V by delta T, where delta V means change in the velocity and the delta T means change in the time. Then we have the gravitational field strength, that is equals to weight divided by mass. And that is given by the formula G is equals to W by M, where W is the weight measured in newtons and mass M is the mass measured in kg. The formula for the density that is equals to mass divided by volume. This symbol is called rho, and it represents density. Density is equals to mass divided by volume. Then we have the mass is measured in kg and the volume is measured in meter cube. Sometimes the mass is measured in grams and the volume is measured in centimeter cube. Resultant force is equals to mass multiply acceleration. We also call this Newton's second law of motion. F is equals to ma. Here F is the resultant force, m is the mass of the body measured in kg, and A is the acceleration produced in the body, that is measured in meter per second square. Spring constant, that is equals to force divided by the extension. The spring constant is represented with the K, and that is equals to F by X. F is the force, X is the extension. And you know the extension is equals to L minus L naught. Means L means the stretched length, L naught means the unstretched length. The moment is equals to force multiply the perpendicular distance from the pivot. Momentum is equals to mass multiply velocity. Momentum is represented with the P, and that is equals to m multiply v, where the m is the mass measured in kg and v is the velocity measured in meter per second. Impulse is equals to force multiply time, for which the force x. So impulse is equals to F multiply delta t, or the impulse can also be equals to change in the momentum, that is delta mv. Delta mv means the change in the momentum. Okay, resultant force is equals to, and this is very important formula, resultant force is equals to change in momentum divided by time taken. F is equals to delta P divided by delta T. Change in momentum divided by time taken. Rate of change in momentum is also called resultant force. You see here, change in momentum is impulse. Rate of change of momentum, that is equals to the resultant force. Kinetic energy is, the formula is 1 by 2 mv square. Here m stands for the mass, which is measured in kg, and v stands for the velocity, which is measured in meter per second. Change in the gravitational potential energy is delta E, which means potential energy, that is equals to mg delta H. Mg delta H, where m is the mass of the body measured in kg, g is the gravitational field strength, which is normally 9.8 Newton per kg, and delta H means the change in the height. Work done is equals to force multiplied distance moved in the direction of the force. W is equals to Fd. The efficiency, the formula for the percentage efficiency is useful energy output divided by the total energy input multiply 100. This formula can be also in terms of power. So percentage efficiency is useful power output divided by the total power input multiply 100. The power is work done divided by the time taken. Power is represented with the P, and that is equals to the work divided by time, W divided by T. The unit of the power is watt. The power is also called the energy transfer divided by the time taken, and P is equal to delta E by T, means power is the rate of doing work, and power is also the rate of transfer of energy. Okay, so in the same way, we have here the the pressure is equals to force divided by area. The P is equals to F by A. Where force is Newton, area is meter per meter square, and for pressure we also use the unit Pascal. Its unit will be Newton per meter square. Its unit is also called Pascal. Change in pressure is equals to, and we are talking about some fluid like liquid or gas, density multiply gravitational field strength multiply change in velocity. So the pressure of a liquid or a pressure of a gas can be found by delta P is equals to rho G delta H, where rho means the density of that liquid or that gas. G means the gravitational field strength, which is normally on the earth is 9.8 Newton per kg. And delta H means the depth of that liquid above the point of observation, or relationship between pressure and volume of a gas at constant pressure. If you have a gas and its mass is kept constant and its temperature is kept constant, then we apply this formula. This is P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. Means that the pressure and the volume of the gas, if the temperature is kept constant and the mass of the gas is kept constant, the pressure and the volume, they are inversely proportional to each other. That's why this famous formula P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. But the condition is that the temperature of the gas will remain constant and the mass of the gas will also remain constant. Relationship between Kelvin and degree Celsius. T in Kelvin is equal to theta in degree centigrade plus 270. Remember this formula. Kelvin is equals to whatever is the temperature in degree centigrade, just add 273 in it. Specific heat capacity, that is change in energy divided by the mass divided by the change in temperature. So small c is delta E, change or heat, divided by the mass divided by the change in temperature. So we have the wave speed. Wave speed is frequency multiply wavelength. Famous formula, we also call it wave equation. So it is V equals to F lambda, where F means the frequency and lambda means the wavelength of the wave. Refractive index is represented with N, and it is equals to sine I by sine R. And another formula for the refractive index is N is equals to 1 by sine C. Here, I means the angle of incidence and R means the angle of refraction and C means the critical angle. Linear magnification is the length of image length divided by the object length. The height of the image divided by the height of the object. This formula can also be the distance of the image from the lens divided by the distance of the object from the lens. Then we have electric current. The formula for the electric current is I is equals to Q divided by T, where Q is the charge, which is measured in coulombs, and T is the time, which is measured in seconds. Then the current is measured in ampere. EMF is equals to the work done by a source divided by the charge. EMF is equals to W divided by Q, where W is the work done by the battery or the source, and Q is the charge. Potential difference is work done on a component divided by the charge. So V is equals to W by Q. Resistance is, according to Ohm's law, potential is a ratio of the potential difference to the current flowing through a resistor. So resistance is R, it's represented with the R, capital R, and that is equals to V by I. So R1 by R2 is equals to V1 by V2. The resistance, the potential drop depends upon the resistance of a body. So R1 by R2 equals to V1 by V2. Power is equals to current multiply voltage. P is equals to IV, power which is measured in watts, and I is measured in ampere, V is measured in volt. So power is equals to, electric power is equals to IV. The electric energy produced used, its formula is current multiply voltage multiply time. E is equals to IVT. Here I is in ampere, V is in voltage, time is measured in seconds, then the energy will be in joules. Another formula for energy is power multiply time. If you take the power in kilowatts and time in hours, then the energy will be kilowatt hour. Then we have here Vp divided by Vs is equals to Np divided by Ns. This is the ratio of the primary voltage to the secondary voltage, that is equals to the ratio of the turns of the coil in the primary to the ratio of the turns in the secondary. That is a very basic principle for the transformer. So orbital speed, the orbital speed means the planets and the satellites which are moving around the sun or a planet. Their orbital speed V is equals to 2 pi r divided by T. So this was a small, you see, I am working for the students who wants to excel in physics. They want to go beyond the normal performance. So this is the right now in front of me, I have the book which is for the Cambridge O-levels physics, and it is written by the Heather, Kennett, and the Tom Duncan. And at the end of that book, this is the list of formulas which they have given. So you see, my idea is not that my students are preparing physics, they are not reading just one book. So they are revising, they are reading the book written by the Heather Kenneth and the Tom Duncan, and they are also reading the book Physics Matter. So different books you study. So this formula list is given at the end of this book, Cambridge O-levels Physics, written by the Tom Duncan. So I hope this will help you, and keep preparing. I will be trying to make more videos. We will also try to make a video on the formulas which are given in the Physics Matter. So at the last time, when you have the physics paper 2, you can just watch these videos and revise your course. So thank you very much for taking your time and watching these videos. And I think it's a great blessing for me that I can make these videos, touch the life of so many students around the globe. Thank you very much.